fact is the NHS is magical, and to come here well into adulthood and discover a system that with its very existence acknowledges just the fragility of life and our vulnerability, and really grapples beautifully with the fact that these bodies, which are working all right now, one day won't, and we'll need a little help. And if we all pool together and acknowledge that fact and aren't chasing profit for some unnecessary CFO in an office tower, but rather, how can we best and most efficiently and most warmly deliver this care? And that's one thing the NHS does unbelievably. And I even say that even now, because it is my opinion and the opinion of many others that, the NHS is being starved of cash by certain people deliberately, right? Even still, you would rather get sick here than you would in the United States.
I've been speaking to people all over our borough on what the NHS means to them, and it's heartrending and moving. People of all ages and all backgrounds realise just how important and precious healthcare, free at the point of need, is.
Rob, fantastic to see you here outside our local hospital of Whittington. Now, you've got a special personal experience of the Whittington, and that's partly why we're here today, but also you've got an almost unique comparison between a privatised health service in the United States and our NHS. Tell us about it.
Well, it's my pleasure to tell you about it. The Whittington is my local hospital as well. And one of my sons was born here. And unfortunately, that son, Henry, got brain cancer just after he turned 1. And so he wound up spending 7 months of his life here. And we got unbelievable, incredible care here at the Whittington. He was at Great Ormond Street Hospital for 7 months as well before that. And of course, that was amazing. That's one of the most famous hospitals in the world. They do amazing stuff there. But after they've stabilized you at Great Ormond Street, they send you to your local hospital. And in our case, that was the Whittington, where we are right now. And he got just incredible TLC here. The care he needed at the time wasn't as acute. Whenever there were emergencies, they were brilliant. But just the day-to-day care and kindness and attention that he received and that our family received was magnificent.
Now, can I ask you a difficult question?
Yeah.
Had Henry been born in the USA?
Yes.
And had the brain cancer been detected in the USA?
Yeah.
What would have happened?
What would have happened is we would have spent a lot of time on the phone with somebody who didn't have a medical degree of any kind, but rather worked for the billing department or the claims department of a big private health insurance company. And often these are publicly traded companies on Wall Street that are making earnings calls, quarterly to investors and stuff. And so we would have been trying to fight, to get the MRI that he needed paid for, or for the bizarre laundry list of medicines that he needed to get them approved. So what would have been stolen from us would have been time. What would have, that's the thing that later, after my son died, we realized, wow, we spent a lot more time with that boy who did not quite make it to the age of 3. He had a short life, and we got to spend more of it playing with him and hugging him and watching him play with his brothers than we would have in America. Not to mention the medical bills, right? So yes, money goes out the door, with an industrial Hoover. But worse than that is time. I don't want to be on the phone with some guy in an office tower in a suburb of St. Louis, Missouri, who doesn't know my child, telling me that he can't get an MRI. I want to be playing with that boy. And in the UK, you get to do that.
Do you know where the inspiration for it came from? There's a Welsh mining town called Tredegar. And Aaron Beverton grew up there. And they had the miners' welfare. And the miners, basically, it was a completely mining town, provided health care through their own subscriptions for everybody in the town. And Aaron Bevan said, look, we need Tredegar all over the country. And we got our National Health Service. There is a new problem, which wasn't possibly so obvious in the 1940s, and that is
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
At the moment we have in Britain, a lot of middle-aged people thinking they're moving into a more secure time of their lives and finding they're remortgaging their house if they own one, to pay for their children to go through university, and to pay for the care of their parents.
Yeah.
And to me, the NHS is wonderful, but it needs to expand, not
Yes.
contract,
Yes.
expand into care as well.
Yes.
So we have a national care service.
Well, allow me to speak about that because I know a
Sure.
little bit about it. As much as we were very well taken care of, and we were at the Whittington, there came a time when our son was physically able to come home. He was well enough, but he couldn't because there wasn't enough care in the community.
Yeah.
So what wound up happening was he spent additional months in the hospital when he could have been home with his brothers because they didn't have the appropriate care in the community. And we are not talking, he didn't need a radiologist, he didn't need a team of experts. He needed like a band 4 carer who is paid a miserable hourly wage to do their work, to visit him during the day at our home,
And check
right?
he's all right and all that.
Okay, but because a lot of that care has been farmed out now to private companies, okay, and then they won't take care of the rotas and the staff, and so then your kid has to stay in the hospital, which costs taxpayers additional tens of thousands of pounds, because staying in an NHS hospital bed is not cheap. So
Just to be in the bed.
so it's
Never mind the
bananas.
fact you're keeping somebody else out of the bed who might
Yeah.
desperately need it.
Precisely. So my wife and I made a big stink about with, you know, we had help. The hospital's like, we would love for him to be home too. We can't let him go because the community isn't ready, because the private companies that they're staffing out to haven't trained people in some stuff that isn't, I almost said brain surgery, rocket science, you know,
Yeah.
like it's stuff that if you're motivated to do, you can learn pretty quickly, but you do have to have certain things checked off because it is, in fact, life or death. So the crazy part is, and you'll know this, is that the NHS, there are people who want to carve it up, you know, for parts and sell it, right? That's not the easiest political sell, because no matter who you are in the political landscape, you at least have to pay lip service to the NHS. You at least have to say that you care, right? So you're going to be scrutinized if you try to cut the NHS. Social care, you could take a katana to that, because most people aren't elderly or disabled, okay? But what happens then is you damage social care, and then it places a greater strain on the NHS. So it's a very good way. Any scumbags or, you know, venture capitalists listening, hurting social care is an amazing and immediate way to hurt the NHS.
You
And
heard
they're-
that from Rob.
Yes, and
Get
they're
that.
and they're doing it. And so that enrages me, and I hope it enrages everybody who hears this.
Thanks, and you're so right.